Somewhere beneath the surface of your daily life, powerful currents have been quietly pulling you toward a point you can no longer avoid. They've been weaving around each other for months, shaping circumstances, shifting energies, and rearranging the very way your inner world receives and holds possibility. One current carries the silent accumulation of every unseen act of courage you've made, building a reservoir of return that's waiting to spill into your reality. Another is rewiring the foundation of your being so that when the next level of abundance lands, you can carry it with strength instead of fear. The last is a moment of clarity on the horizon, an unveiling that will thread all the fragments of your journey into a single, undeniable picture. And here's the twist: the breakthrough isn't hiding in more effort. The more you strain, the more you'll push against the tide that's already carrying you forward. You were never built to scramble after what's yours. You were built to draw it in, to magnetize it without exhausting yourself in the chase. Every twist in the chaos, every detour that felt like a wrong turn was, in truth, the road folding in on itself to shorten the distance between you and what's meant for you. Now the signals are clear, the path is aligning, and all that's left is to let the door swing open when it arrives. There were seasons when it felt like everything was collapsing around you, but in truth, the structure you once lived within was being stripped away so something entirely stronger could take its place. What you carried before couldn't sustain the magnitude of what was coming, so life reshaped you until your foundation could bear it. No part of that dismantling was random. It was a precise preparation, timed so that the unveiling of your next chapter would land with undeniable purpose. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. Be a vessel of His grace and watch His kingdom flourish through you. Not long ago, you made a move so subtle it barely registered at the time. Yet that single decision sent out a chain of events that's been gathering force ever since. It's now approaching the point where all that momentum will collide with your reality in a way that will leave no room for doubt about who you've become. People have been watching, some rooting for you quietly, others doubting you, and a few wishing you'd fail. They've seen your consistent efforts but have mistaken them for ordinary ambition. They have no idea that what's coming is the kind of leap only possible for someone who's been reshaped by relentless challenge and is now ready to step into the fullness of their birthright. Very soon, revelations will surface. Tangible, undeniable truths that shift everything you thought you knew. The clarity will hit so sharply it will feel like stepping into a completely different state of awareness. You've been searching for layered strategies and complicated solutions, but the key has been sitting in plain view the entire time. One piece of this breakthrough will release a block that's been quietly limiting your ability to fully embrace all forms of joy and fulfillment. The moment it clears, it will be like tasting something rich and vibrant after years of muted flavor. This isn't simply about gain, it's about expansion. And when it happens, the flow won't be steady or slow. It will arrive all at once, surrounding you so completely that you'll know, without question, the wait was worth it. There comes a point when the clarity you step into begins to unsettle the ones who've built their image on illusions. They've been drawing from your spark without truly grasping the depth of what fuels it, mimicking gestures without ever touching the source. When genuine influence moves into full expression, imitation doesn't need to be called out, it simply dissolves under the weight of the real thing. No effort is needed on your part. The shift in your presence alone will leave no question about what's authentic and what's hollow. Another unfolding piece involves agreements taking form, both in the physical and in the unseen layers of life. Opportunities that align perfectly with your new standard. Environments that mirror the refinement you've reached. Connections that replenish instead of drain. These aren't abstract dreams or far-off visions. They are already sealed in motion, waiting for the right moment to take shape in your tangible world. If you've been touched by God's goodness, don't keep it to yourself. Click Super Thank You, and sow a gift of $20 or more to help spread His light. Your giving becomes a ripple of grace, blessing hearts and building His kingdom. Let His overflow pour through you. And as this transformation settles in, the ones who underestimated your value will begin to witness what happens when self-respect becomes unshakable. There will be no speeches, no warnings, no dramatic exits, just a quiet, undeniable recalibration that speaks volumes. Your actions won't need to carry the message. because the energy you now stand in will say everything for you. There's a shift happening that can't be hidden anymore. The kind that comes when you stop shrinking yourself to fit inside spaces that were never meant to hold you. The restraint, the quiet compliance, the softening of your edges to keep others at ease, those days are gone. What's emerging now isn't just confidence. It's a complete alignment between who you are inside and how the world experiences you. And tied to this expansion is a transformation that's as physical as it is spiritual. The changes in your body aren't random. They're in direct conversation with the new reality you're stepping into. Your strength, your radiance, the way you carry yourself now all signal that your inner frequency has shifted. You've become a force that draws the right opportunities without strain, and soon there will be a celebration, a defining moment, a visible marker of the life you've built. Something rare and unmistakable will arrive in your hands. A gift, a token, a clarity so sharp it leaves no doubt you've crossed into higher ground. You've been clearing out more than emotions. You've been releasing the energetic weight that dulled your connection to the abundance waiting for you. Now you're tuned to a higher current, and the flow that once crawled toward you is about to rush in without resistance. You're reading your body like a finely tuned instrument, recognizing what feeds your vitality and what drains it, noticing which spaces nourish you and which diminish your spark. And because of this, only those who intuitively understand your rhythm are able to stay close. People who sense your needs before words, who show up exactly when the moment calls for it. But as you settle into this new atmosphere, old echoes will try to pull you back. Thoughts whispering that it's too much, too soon, too easy. That's not truth. It's the residue of an outdated version of you. Ignore it because you're about to receive something so aligned, so undeniable. It will draw a clear line in your life between everything that came before and everything that follows. When it arrives, whether in a dream, a message, or a meeting, you won't need to question it. You'll feel the certainty in your bones. There's a revelation approaching that will flip the lens you've been looking through your entire life. It will uncover a hidden angle in your own reality, a truth that's been sitting in plain sight but camouflaged as something insignificant. Once the pattern is revealed, you'll see how each closed door, each moment of frustration, and every time you questioned your own direction was actually aligning you perfectly for this turning point. The shift that follows will feel like regaining a sense you didn't realize you had lost. Something within you that's been quietly locked away will open wide, releasing an effortless flow into every area of your life. It won't trickle, it will rush in with force, filling spaces you thought would remain empty. Your inner compass is about to sharpen beyond recognition. The hesitation that once kept you circling the same decisions will disappear, replaced by a direct clarity that makes every move swift and sure. What you once debated for weeks will now take you seconds to act on, and the accuracy will be undeniable. Signs will begin to gather in your path. Patterns, repeating markers, moments that seem too deliberate to be random. These signals aren't accidents. They're the pathway markers of your unfolding destiny. You'll notice details that others overlook, and each one will confirm that you're moving in precise alignment with something far greater than chance. When you walk into spaces after this change takes root, the atmosphere will shift without you saying a word. People will notice it instantly, a gravity in your presence that commands attention without demanding it. It's not intimidation. It's the quiet authority of someone fully standing in their place. Conversations will take on a different tone when you're part of them. People will realize there's far more depth beneath your surface than they ever imagined. They'll see glimpses of the experiences and wisdom you carry, and the contrast between who they thought you were and who you truly are will surprise them. Your voice will hold a new kind of resonance. You won't be speaking more loudly, but the energy behind your words will land with more impact than ever before. Every statement will carry an undertone of certainty that pulls people in, making them pause and truly listen. This transformation won't come from pushing harder to prove yourself. It's the natural outcome of owning your position. The insights that are arriving will feel like remembering something ancient that's always been part of you, not learning something new. The sense of recognition will be immediate and powerful. All those years of conditioning that told you to stay small, be practical, and accept less will fall away like old skin. You'll know with absolute clarity that your capacity was never the issue. This is the moment you step into the life you were designed to lead, and nothing about it will feel like luck. What once felt like static is clearing, and the channel ahead is about to open without distortion. Rest is becoming deeper, not because life has slowed down, but because your awareness is expanding into new territory. The visions you receive at night carry meaning you can't dismiss, and flashes of insight will arrive at times you least expect, so much so that you'll find yourself scrambling to capture them before they slip away. You're stepping into a phase where the example you sought outside yourself is now the person staring back at you. The longing to measure up to someone else's standard is dissolving. Instead, eyes will turn toward you as the living reference of what's possible, and the shift will happen with a speed that leaves observers stunned. Those who treated you like an afterthought are about to watch your elevation unfold in real time. Their dismissiveness will feel irrelevant to you because you'll no longer be operating in the space where their approval mattered. They'll see the proof of what they overlooked, but by then, you'll be far beyond their reach. In the narrative others wrote about your downfall, you're becoming the scene they never saw coming. While they were waiting for your collapse, the foundations for your fiercest return were quietly being laid. What's coming next will make even your quietest moves look like a masterstroke of strategy. Some connections are nearing their expiration without the other side realizing it. People who believed your resources, time, and presence were guaranteed are about to face the reality of losing that access. Their frustration will come not from your words, but from the sudden absence of your availability. The strength in this new chapter isn't in confrontation. It's in the silence that follows your withdrawal. The games meant to provoke you no longer register, and the lack of reaction will unsettle them more than any heated exchange could. Your calm detachment will dismantle their control. Soon, the realization will set in for certain people that they misjudged the exchange all along. They weren't doing you a favor by being in your orbit. You were enriching theirs. When they circle back, hoping to reclaim their position, they'll find the door locked to the version of you they once knew. You're closing the chapter on being the one who endlessly patches others together. The role of constant fixer has drained its final ounce of energy from you. The new balance you're learning may feel strange at first, but it's a necessary shift toward receiving as much as you give. This is the season where the center of gravity moves back to you. No more being the open supply line for everyone else's needs. The strength you're building now isn't about resistance. It's about choosing where, when, and to whom you give your light. And that choice will change everything. What once felt like static is clearing, and the channel ahead is about to open without distortion. Rest is becoming deeper, not because life has slowed down, but because your awareness is expanding into new territory. The visions you receive at night carry meaning you can't dismiss, and flashes of insight will arrive at times you least expect, so much so that you'll find yourself scrambling to capture them before they slip away. You're stepping into a phase where the example you sought outside yourself is now the person staring back at you. The longing to measure up to someone else's standard is dissolving. Instead, eyes will turn toward you as the living reference of what's possible, and the shift will happen with a speed that leaves observers stunned. Those who treated you like an afterthought are about to watch your elevation unfold in real time. Their dismissiveness will feel irrelevant to you because you'll no longer be operating in the space where their approval mattered. They'll see the proof of what they overlooked, but by then, you'll be far beyond their reach. In the narrative others wrote about your downfall, you're becoming the scene they never saw coming. While they were waiting for your collapse, the foundations for your fiercest return were quietly being laid. What's coming next will make even your quietest moves look like a masterstroke of strategy. Some connections are nearing their expiration without the other side realizing it. People who believed your resources, time, and presence were guaranteed are about to face the reality of losing that access. Their frustration will come not from your words, but from the sudden absence of your availability. The strength in this new chapter isn't in confrontation. It's in the silence that follows your withdrawal. The games meant to provoke you no longer register, and the lack of reaction will unsettle them more than any heated exchange could. Your calm detachment will dismantle their control. Soon, the realization will set in for certain people that they misjudged the exchange all along. They weren't doing you a favor by being in your orbit. You were enriching theirs. When they circle back, hoping to reclaim their position, they'll find the door locked to the version of you they once knew. You're closing the chapter on being the one who endlessly patches others together. The role of constant fixer has drained its final ounce of energy from you. The new balance you're learning may feel strange at first, but it's a necessary shift toward receiving as much as you give. This is the season where the center of gravity moves back to you. No more being the open supply line for everyone else's needs. The strength you're building now isn't about resistance. It's about choosing where, when, and to whom you give your light. And that choice will change everything. The transformation taking root in your life is reshaping more than your outer world. It's redesigning the spaces you move through and the people who share them with you. As your energy shifts, your surroundings will begin to mirror that higher state, drawing in connections who meet you where you are now instead of where you used to be. What once felt like constant upkeep just to get by will give way to a rhythm built on flow, opportunity, and genuine fulfillment. Your body is answering the call of this inner change, adjusting in ways that feel effortless yet profound. Long-held strain is loosening, rest feels restorative again, and the physical discomforts that once seemed random are fading as your system recalibrates to match the joy and purpose you're embodying. The alignment between how you feel inside and how you exist physically will be undeniable. The vision you've held for your physical self is no longer a distant dream. It's steadily becoming visible. Every moment of discipline, every small choice in your favor, every refusal to give up is converging into results that surprise even you. Your appearance will become a clear reflection of the transformation happening at the deepest levels. This renewal is so thorough that even those trained to measure progress in conventional ways will be caught off guard. Improvements will emerge without fitting neatly into timelines or formulas, because your healing is operating on a level beyond standard cause and effect. Energy and vitality you thought were gone will return with a strength that feels brand new. In relationships, the shift will create invisible lines that protect your peace without the need for explanations. Interactions that once drained you will naturally fade, not because of dramatic endings, but because your refined state leaves no room for what can't grow with you. The distance forms itself without conflict. Even the way you present yourself to the world will subtly evolve. This isn't about following trends or overcompensating. It's the outward signature of someone who values themselves fully. The confidence you carry will naturally find its way into how you move, how you speak, and how you choose to be seen, and the world will take notice without you having to announce a single thing. The invitations coming your way will feel less like formal obligations and more like natural extensions of the conversations you're already meant to have. The ease with which you'll connect to an audience will dissolve any trace of nervousness you once carried. Instead of worrying about how you're being perceived, you'll be focused on the impact your words are leaving behind. What's ahead isn't about performance. It's about presence. Every microphone, every camera, every seat filled in front of you will be there because your perspective was forged through lived truth. Your message won't be built on speculation or empty theory. It will carry the unmistakable resonance of someone who has lived the transformation they're describing. People won't be drawn to you because you speak loudly, but because what you're saying is rooted in a reality they can feel. The noise of critics will fade completely as your influence deepens among those who are genuinely invested in your growth and inspired by your example. Every challenge you've overcome is now becoming part of a blueprint others can follow. They won't just want to hear about your victories. They'll want to know how you got from the lowest moments to where you stand now. Your willingness to tell the truth about the messy parts will be the thing that makes you relatable, not untouchable. In this season, your story becomes both a map and a reminder that perfection was never the goal. Authenticity was. The retelling of your journey will soon reach wider platforms. Whether through a major publication, a creative project, or visual storytelling that captures the scope of your rise. These aren't random opportunities. They're pieces of a larger plan unfolding in perfect sequence, designed to ensure your message reaches those who need it most. Your success will extend its influence far beyond your personal sphere. The causes that resonate deeply with you will gain momentum and resources because of the way you choose to direct your abundance. You're not just building for yourself, you're creating a ripple effect that will improve lives you may never meet in person. Without chasing, without forcing, doors will start to open. Calls will come in from people and organizations you've never pitched to. Invitations will arrive from those who've been quietly watching your journey. The acceleration will feel sudden, but it will be the natural outcome of the frequency you've risen into. And each new interaction will be another step in a pattern you'll recognize only when you look back. Meetings, chance encounters, and unexpected offers will act like markers on a path that's been charted for you all along. When the full design comes into view, you'll see that nothing was random. Every moment was a deliberate move toward where you're standing now. Your digital presence is on the verge of shifting from simply being seen to becoming a living example of influence built on truth. The way you express yourself, the energy behind your words, and the value you naturally deliver will begin pulling in the exact people who are meant to walk this path with you. This isn't the result of formulas or manufactured hype. It's attraction born from authenticity, and it will grow without losing its strength. You're stepping into a state where wealth is no longer something you chase, it's something that gravitates toward you. There's a difference between working for returns and living in a flow where opportunities and resources arrive without resistance. The inner work you've done to change your relationship with receiving is about to show up in ways you couldn't have predicted, expanding your reality beyond the limits you once imagined. Every moment you've given more than you've gotten, every time you've put others ahead of yourself at your own expense, every season where you settled for less than you're worth, all of it has been preparing you for a new era where you receive openly, without guilt and without the instinct to sabotage what you've earned. Your way of processing information is evolving. You no longer get trapped in endless searches for answers that drain your energy. Instead, you collect insights with purpose, storing them until the exact moment they can be used with precision. Your decisions are sharper, your solutions more refined, and your ability to see the bigger picture is at its highest level yet. Every step in your past now fits together like an intricate design. What you've lived through was never a sentence. It was the groundwork. The architecture of your next chapter is already embedded within you, not as something you have to study, but as an instinct that rises when you need it most. This isn't about memorizing methods. It's about trusting the wisdom you carry in your bones. You're beginning to see that lack was never part of your natural state. It was only a temporary distortion. Abundance, connection, and opportunity have always been your baseline. The shift comes from finally accepting that you're meant to hold this space, not because you were picked at random, but because you chose to step into it fully. The truth waiting for you to claim is simple. There's nothing left to wake up to, you're already here. The recognition, the resources, the visibility, they're all lining up. But the most important arrival is you stepping into the version of yourself who stops hesitating and starts owning everything you were meant to carry. This is your moment to take the seat that's been reserved for you all along.